Alright, Karina baby, for the 15th, we have my roof garden. I have a garden way up high, where sunflowers almost reach the sky. Forget-me-nots and sweet peas grow around the brick chimneys, and pansies smile and nod their heads along my rooftop flower beds. No prettier flowers have I found in any garden on the ground. In city areas, you find a lot of rooftop gardens. There are so many good reasons why you should never lie, why you should never tell lies. This story is about a boy who learns he has a special reason to tell the truth. And rightly so, because he is a special kind of boy, the kind of boy you meet only in a wonderful world of books. Pinocchio learns to tell the truth. In a little town in Italy a long time ago, there lived an old man named Geppetto. For all his life, Geppetto had worked as a carpenter. He made fine furniture for rich men and women. He had built beautiful houses for many families. He once had even built a dollhouse for a young daughter of the King of Naples. When Geppetto made that house, he built every bit of furniture for it. The tiny chairs and tables, the beautiful kitchen with all the things needed for cooking, the living room with a couch and easy chairs, bedrooms complete with beds and dressers and closets. Geppetto even made tiny dolls to live in the house. There was a mother doll, there was a father doll, and there was a baby doll. There was a little girl doll. All the dolls seemed so real to the princess that she played with them for many years. But that was long ago. Now Geppetto was getting old. His hands were becoming stiff. His back often hurt when he worked for a time. And his eyes were not very strong. Geppetto knew that he would not be able to go on working for much longer. He would soon have to stop making furniture. He would have to stop building houses. He would probably never again have a chance to build a dollhouse for a princess. Geppetto knew he would one day have to spend his time sitting in his little house, taking walks whenever the sun was out, and talking with his old friends while they sat together and watched the young people go by. None of this made Geppetto sad, for he knew that everyone must get old. He also knew that he had saved much of his money he had made during his life. He would never have to worry about having enough to eat or having a warm bed to sleep in, but Geppetto was not really happy. What made Geppetto just a little bit sad was that he had never married and he had no children to comfort him in his old age. He had no daughter to walk with, he had no son to teach his trade to or take walks with through the town. Geppetto knew he would eat alone for the rest of his days. If only I had a daughter or a son, Geppetto said to himself one day. Why not me? Said a voice. What's that? Who's there? Who said that? Is there someone here in my workshop who is hiding from me? I'm not hiding. I'm over here in the woodpile. Geppetto got up from the chair and went to the woodpile. No one was there. Geppetto thought to himself, I am getting old. I am beginning to hear voices, even though no one is speaking. No, you're not. I'm speaking. Sure enough, the voice seemed to be coming from the woodpile. Geppetto bent down to the woodpile and began to take out the pieces one by one and put them down on the floor. When he got to the bottom, sure enough, he heard the voice again. That's better, said the voice. You don't know how uncomfortable it is to lie at the bottom of the woodpile. Take me out now. Geppetto looked down at the last log in the woodpile. It looked just like all the other logs, but when Geppetto lifted it up, it spoke. Thank you, Geppetto. You're welcome, whoever you are. Whoever I am. If you'll put your carving knife to me, you'll soon find out that I am a boy, and I am going to be your boy. And those words, Geppetto became very happy. It is possible, he thought, that I finally would have a boy who will play happily, run errands for me, learn my trade, keep my company in my older age. Geppetto went to his workbench and prepared his carving knife and his sandpaper and his glue. When he had everything he needed, he put the log across his knee and set to work. Geppetto worked the whole day and night through. He carved the head, the face, the arms, the legs, and a sturdy body, all from the same log. And sure enough, when the first light of day appeared, Geppetto had finished his work. There was a boy, a beautiful boy, with a head of black hair and blue eyes and a pointy nose, just like all the boys in the town. And Geppetto called the boy Pinocchio. Pinocchio was everything that Geppetto had wished for. He sang as well as a wooden boy could. While Geppetto made breakfast, he danced as well as a wooden boy could. And then it repeats, while Geppetto made breakfast, he danced as well as a wooden boy could. While Geppetto washed the dishes, he clapped his hands with happiness. When Geppetto built a bed for Pinocchio to sleep in, every day from then on, Geppetto and Pinocchio would take walks together through the town. When Geppetto stopped to have a chat with his friends, Pinocchio would play with the children who happened to be around. When Geppetto needed firewood, Pinocchio would go off to the woods and pick up what was needed. When Geppetto's shoes needed mending, Pinocchio would take them to the cobbler. When Geppetto needed water for his cooking, Pinocchio would go to the town to get it. Pinocchio is eager to learn carpentry and has made Geppetto happy. One by one, Geppetto taught Pinocchio how to use the tools, all the tools a carpenter needs to build fine furniture, to build a house, to build a doll house. Pinocchio learned very quickly, and Geppetto knew that one day Pinocchio would be the first-class carpenter. Soon Geppetto bought a fine hat for Pinocchio to wear, with a real feather in it. He bought Pinocchio a splendid jacket to wear. He even bought him shoes, one pair for every day and a special pair for Sunday. When Geppetto would go for a walk with Pinocchio on a fine Sunday afternoon, all the townspeople would say to him, "How nice your boy looks in his new clothes," they would say. "Geppetto, you should get yourself some new clothes, too," they would say. Who is that handsome young man with you?" they would say. The old man had never been happier in his life. He had a good son. Geppetto and Pinocchio took all their meals together. And even though Pinocchio would go off and play with his friends after the evening meal, he was always home before dark. If it happened that Pinocchio was off playing in the forest the one day in midsummer, when the days were very long and the nights were very short, he had made friends with a rabbit. And on this day, Pinocchio and the rabbit were playing tag together. When Pinocchio was running away from the rabbit to keep from being tagged, Pinocchio tripped and fell. When he sat up, he found that he had fallen over a leather bag. He picked it up and looked inside. "Oh my, there are 3 gold coins in this bag. I wonder whose they are." The words were hardly out of his mouth when a beautiful fairy queen suddenly appeared behind Pinocchio. She was dressed in all white and wore a golden crown on her head and carried a golden wand. "What have you there, Pinocchio?" "Oh, it's just a leather bag," he said, thinking that if he could keep the gold coins for himself, he could buy enough candy with the coins to eat candy for the rest of his life. "Is there anything in the bag?" said the fairy queen. "No, it's quite empty." At this, the fairy queen waved her wand in the air, and Pinocchio's nose began to itch. "Why did you wave your wand?" said Pinocchio. "Touch your nose and see," she said. Pinocchio's nose had grown to twice its regular size. No wonder it itched. "Oh my," said Pinocchio, "how will I ever be able to go around town with such a nose? And the other boys will laugh at me. The bird will sit on my nose. There's enough room for 12 sparrows. And what if a woodpecker starts to work on the tip of my nose? Please, please help me." "Are you sure there is nothing in the leather bag?" said the fairy queen. No, I told you before, there is nothing in the bag. The Fairy Queen waved her wand again in the air, and again Pinocchio's nose began to itch even more. Don't tell me, Pinocchio said. I don't have to touch my nose again to know what happened. I can... What do you think happened to him? He's trying to teach him a lesson. I can see that my nose has grown even bigger than before. Why have you done this to me? Now I can have 24 sparrows on my nose. I shall ask you just once more, said the Fairy Queen. Is there anything in the leather bag? Yes, oh yes, said Pinocchio, whose nose was now so long that he thought it would break off. There are 3 gold coins in the bag. Are you sure? There are only 3, said the Fairy Queen. Oh yes, I am sure there are only 3. Please do not make my nose grow any bigger. I can hardly reach the end of it. How will I ever be able to blow my nose? The Fairy Queen smiled at this and said, Pinocchio, I have been watching you ever since you came to life with Geppetto. You have been a good boy up until today. But when I put that leather bag in front of you in order to make you fall and find it, I was testing you. I wanted to know whether you would tell a lie. And you did. You not only told a lie, you told 2. That is not a good way to behave. Pinocchio began to cry, as well as the wooden boy could cry. I promise you, I will never tell a lie again, I promise. As soon as Pinocchio finished talking, his nose began to itch again, and he could tell that his nose was beginning to return to its normal size. He reached up to touch it and found that his nose was once again just the size that Geppetto had carved. Oh, thank you, Fairy Queen, said Pinocchio. Thank you for giving me back my real nose. Look how big it was. Don't thank me for that, she said. If you have truly learned that you must never lie again, then you have much more to thank me for than just your nose. Geppetto could have trimmed your nose every day, but only you can be truthful and reliable. Take your leather bag, said Pinocchio. I'm sure you will want to have it back, so you can teach other boys not to lie. No, said the Fairy Queen. You take it home with you and give it to the good Geppetto. He will find the best use for the 3 gold coins. With those words, the Fairy Queen vanished. As suddenly as she had appeared, Pinocchio was quite alone in the forest. He put the bag in the pocket of the jacket Geppetto had bought him and hurried home. As soon as he closed the door behind him, Pinocchio gave the 3 gold coins to Geppetto. Where did you get these, Pinocchio? In the forest. A Fairy Queen gave them to me. For telling the story, that story, my boy, you'll have to go to bed without your dinner. Oh, so even Geppetto. Pinocchio began to cry, as well as a wooden boy could cry, and told Geppetto the whole story. But Geppetto, who didn't believe in fairies, said, I believe you think you are telling the truth, but just to be sure, you'll have to go to bed without your dinner anyway. Tomorrow I will ask all the townspeople whether they know anything about this gold. If no one knows whose gold it is, I will buy food for the poor family in our town. Well, Pinocchio said to himself later, while he was getting into his bed, Geppetto may have punished me even though I told the truth, but that's better than watching my nose get bigger. I'll never again tell a lie. Oh. All right, baby. So, lies. What is a lie? What is life? What is your life, right? Your life is your perception on life, which is why Mama likes videos. I like to have a video because our minds change the past for us, right? Our minds go in and they try to protect us, so they forget things, right? Our minds, all humans, we forget things all the time anyway. Like, we have very short memories, a lot of us. And, but you want to move on from situations anyway. But what is exactly a lie? A lie is your perception on something. Like, someone could be like, do you like my dress? And you don't want to be rude, right? You don't want to be like, oh, I don't like the color of your dress. I don't like the way that the dress lays. I don't like, you don't want to be rude to somebody else. So everyone tells lies saying, oh, this dress is nice. This dress is beautiful. Or some people will tell the truth and be like, the dress, I don't like that dress. And I don't know why exactly. I just don't like it, right? Some people will be honest and truthful about stuff like that. You never want to hurt someone's feelings. So when someone cooks something for you, if you don't like it, a lot of people will lie and say, oh, this is delicious. You never want to be rude about someone else's food. You never want to be rude about a situation that you're in. I'm personally really bad with conflict. So I just try to avoid it. But what is a lie though? A lie is, everyone tells lies because everyone's perception is different. Everyone will watch the same event and tell their story of it, but it's all basically a lie. Because perception is just different, which is why videos are so useful. Mama wants to create a journal that just records things of your life. And so this way, if you ever get in trouble for something, you can just go, play what happened. Play what happened. I think it'll make people be more aware of themselves and their surroundings and their situations that they're in. And just make it easier in life to be like, let's review the conversation. Did I take it the wrong way? Did I perceive it the wrong way? Was it actually wrong? Like, what could I have done better? I like videos of things because our minds do go back and be like, oh, well, it was a bad situation, but our minds will go back and be like, oh, well, it was okay. And so everyone does lie just based on our own different perceptions of things. And it's not really even a lie. It's just everyone perceives everything differently. And then Pinocchio, though, blatantly lied. He said that there wasn't 3 gold coins in the bag because he wanted to keep them to go buy candy. And that was wrong because he should have just been like, oh, well, there's 3 gold coins in the bag. She put the bag there. She wanted to see if he'd tell the truth, and he lied. So it's easier in life to have a recording of something. That's the easiest way to be the most perceptive, is just to have a voice recording, video recording of something. It makes life easier. It makes it so that the perception from your angle and other people's angle is able to be reviewed. But, and blatantly lying, saying I don't have the 3 gold coins when he obviously did. Or, just trying to be considerate of someone else's feelings. Everyone wants to be loved, seen, and accepted, no matter who they are. And, being considerate of their clothing, their style, their hairstyle, their makeup, their whatever it is that they're personally doing that maybe you don't personally believe in. Certain people like to do certain things at certain times. And it's like, oh, well, for instance, I like to brush my teeth before I go to bed every night. I don't brush my teeth during the day, but every single night before I go to bed, I make sure my teeth are very well brushed. It takes me an hour to take care of my teeth sometimes. Sometimes it takes me a half an hour. Depending. And so it's just perception on life and what people like to do. And some people will be like, you have to brush your teeth 3 times a day. Are they lying? No, that's what they do. I say you should brush your teeth once a day before you go to bed at night, because at night is most crucial and you don't want to wear off your enamel. And what I personally do. But is that lying? It could be perceived as lying. It's not, though. It's just everything's perception. I love you so incredibly much, and I miss you. Let's do skip, skip, skip to my loo, skip, skip, skip to my loo, skip, skip, skip to my loo, skip to my loo, my darling. We're going to Texas 2x2. We're going to Texas 2x2. We're going to Texas 2x2. Skip to my loo, my darling. Skip, skip, skip to my loo, skip, skip, skip to my loo, skip, skip, skip to my loo, skip to my loo, my darling. Lost my partner, what will I do? Lost my partner, what will I do? Lost my partner, what will I do? Skip to my loo, my darling. Find another as pretty as you. Find another as pretty as you. Find another as pretty as you. Skip to my loo, my darling. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip to my loo, my darling. Grandbaby, I love you and I miss you so much.